Hello, beautiful souls. It's Emily with Twins in Union, and I just want to start by wishing everyone a very happy new year. Here we are. We made it. We made it through 2017. We are finally here in 2018. I hope that everyone had wonderful holidays, safe holidays, happy holidays, and that everyone is doing well and staying warm. For those of you who are feeling the Arctic blast that is sweeping through part of our nation here in the U.S., we've been having very, very, very cold temperatures where I live. So I have been really staying indoors a lot and doing a lot of domestic things, and it really all ties in perfectly with this Cancer full moon, which I will talk about more in a little bit here. But I just, as always, want to start by saying a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for being here, and to all of my longtime subscribers. I really appreciate having you with me on this journey. And if you're just stopping by, thank you for being here. And as always, I especially want to thank all of you who have booked readings with me and coaching sessions with me and ordered channeled paintings from me. So thank you all so much, and I especially want to thank everyone for all of your lovely emails and comments, and more and more of you are reaching out to me, and I just truly enjoy connecting with everyone. And for me, 2017, I would say probably one of, if not the biggest highlights for me was starting this YouTube channel in July. And it's just, I'm like pinching myself all the time still, like, do I really have a YouTube channel? This is just so surreal. I never would have dreamed this. And anyway, you guys are part of, what makes it so special, and what gives me the courage and the strength to keep putting my face on YouTube. So anyway, I just, wanted to express my thanks and gratitude, and I'm also, sharing my thanks and gratitude and supporting you by doing a New Year's special on all of my readings. So for 2018 being an 11 year, I am taking $11 off all of my readings. So, I know it's that time of year when, money is a little bit tight after the holidays, but then you're also wanting to maybe get more insight into, the dynamics going on in your twin flame connections. So anyway, I will post links below this video with all of the special rates for the readings if you want to check that out, if you feel guided, and if you feel like I am a reader that resonates with you, then I would really love to support you in your journey. So, okay, all of that being said, this Cancer full moon we just had on the night of the 1st here in the U.S. I think for the other parts of the country it happened on the morning of the 2nd. And, I guess an energy update, some of what I have been experiencing from this full moon is a lot of heart activation, a lot of heart expansion, a lot of emotional releases from my heart, and then just also, some old thought patterns coming up to be released. So, it's been a rather emotional moon for me anyway, and, I feel like some of that is just, last minute clearing, at the end of the year, things that we needed to clear out before moving into 2018. And just, expanding and preparing our hearts for 2018, which is a number 2 year. And, that is all about relationships and connecting with others and really bringing our heart into that dynamic. So if you have been, emotional and having a lot of, tears come up, or emotional heart openings, or releasing emotions, Cancer is a water sign, and that is an emotional element, water. So just know that that's, part of the energies that we are in right now. And this is a really powerful full moon. And the energy of it is, with the number 2 is a yin feminine number. So 2017 was more of a masculine number 1 year in terms of the energy, and then this year's energy is going to be a lot more softer and more feminine. I think I'll probably wind up doing a whole nother video on 2018 with an energy forecast to give us more, in-depth insight into that. But yeah, and the other beautiful thing about this Cancer full moon energy is it's really supporting us and further aligning with our truth, with our authenticity, and with our gifts. And it's showing us more of who we are and who we are not. And that is going to support us in being able to serve humanity, with those aspects of ourselves from that authentic place, from that heartfelt place. So it's really exciting, and I feel like this full moon in Cancer that we just had is really setting the stage and laying the foundation for a lot of the energies that we are going to be having in 2018. With that being said, I do have a full union spread laid out here for us. And so this is looking at the energies for this full moon in Cancer leading up to the new moon in Capricorn, which I believe is on the 18th. And as always, I always set the intention for the reading to be for the highest good of all twin flames, and for the Twin Flame Collective to receive healing through this reading. And yeah, I think that about covers it. So I'm going to turn the camera towards the cards, and we can dive in to the reading and take a closer look at the energies going on here. So okay, here we go. All right, so I have a large spread. A lot of cards wanted to come out, and as always I will hold up the cards so that we can get a close-up look. And as always, I have the Divine Masculines cards over here, and then I have the Divine Feminines cards over here. And then this center row is energies of the union. Let's see, as far as the cards that I am using, I'm using the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. And I am using these clarifying cards on the outer edges are from the Angel Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And then at the very end, I am going to do a couple of guidance cards from the Wisdom of the Golden Path, and that is by Tony Carmine Salerno. And then I will do a romance message for us from the Divine Love Letters book, and this is channeled letters from Twin Flames to Twin Flames by Bella Tinks, who is also a Twin Flame, and she has a channel called Divine Love Crystal Grid. So anyway, I will be sharing a romance message for us from this book. And I think that about covers it as far as what cards I am using. Let's see. I'm actually feeling guided to dive into the center here with the Union card. I'll come back to it later, but I just felt really guided to show this at the beginning of the reading, just because it is a yin-yang card, which is all about the balancing of the energies and it is a number 22, and you know, this 2018 year is a number 2 year. So I just really feel like this card, you know, really does a good job of summing up the energies for 2018. We have the two, you know, divine sovereign beings here, the feminine with the white swirl and the masculine with this fiery swirl, and the feminine representing the watery, emotional, cool aspects, and the masculine representing, you know, the more like the sun and the fire and the warm aspects. And then within each of them, you know, she has her fiery masculine dot and he has his cool, watery, feminine dot. So they are two individual sovereign beings that are whole within themselves. And when they come together in unity, this, you know, cosmic explosion happens. You know, we see all of this like gold stardust in the sky, and that's that third energy. And so I just feel like this is a reminder from Spirit letting us know that this is a powerful energy that is representing this year 2018. And I just feel like this is going to be a year where a lot of twins will be coming into union. And, you know, even for twins that don't come into union, I feel like there will be the end of separation consciousness. And I'll get into that more later in the reading. But this is just a really powerful union card. And union is so much more than just coming together into the physical. It is spiritual union, and it is a consciousness that is a consciousness of oneness, a consciousness of the divine, a consciousness of love, a consciousness of, you know, Christ consciousness, love and compassion, and seeing ourselves in each and every person that we come into contact with every day. You know, even if it's just somebody, you know, driving by us on the street, or, you know, somebody ringing us up at the cash register. It's feeling that connectedness and that oneness with all of life. So it's really beautiful, and I just feel like this is like the planet ascending and rising up, and we are in a really amazing time right now of planetary ascension where, you know, on a global scale, people are going to be starting to go through awakenings. It's already happening. You know, we are in the new earth. We are just grounding all of this energy right now. So it's a really exciting time, and I just felt guided to show this card at the very beginning. Okay, so I will start over here with the Divine Masculine. And so we have, what is the Divine Masculine thinking about in his mental space regarding his twin flame connection and his beloved feminine. And so the card that came up is the Thinking Woman. And whenever I see this card, I always think about the High Priestess. So I feel like, you know, the Divine Masculine in his mental space, he's really, you know, balancing out his feminine aspect right now, and really starting to embrace his intuition more and open up to receiving his intuition more, and really, you know, moving into a place of wisdom, and really embracing his intuition in a way that is with respect. Because, you know, the patriarchal template of the old template, the Divine Masculine, didn't have that appreciation and understanding and respect for the feminine intuition aspect, you know, within himself and within others. And I feel like now he's really balancing out this feminine aspect within himself in a way that is allowing him to access his own intuition and receive it in a way that is giving him very powerful, clear guidance as he is navigating his life. And we see this little yellow butterfly here, and that yellow butterfly represents transformation, but that color yellow corresponds to the solar plexus, which is that third chakra where we carry the energy of our self-esteem and our confidence and our personal power. So I feel like, this transformation that's taking place, where it's balancing out his feminine aspect, is also really assisting him and supporting him in having more confidence and feeling more in tune with his own personal power. Accessing our intuition is a very powerful thing. And when we start to realize its power and we start to really utilize it, it really does connect with our self-esteem, and it helps us connect with our higher self. It's when we take that time and kind of retreat and go into our cocoon and get quiet, that's when we can really hear our higher self, hear our inner wisdom, hear that intuitive voice within us. And so I just feel like the Divine Masculine has really made a lot of progress in that area. And we see she's got this, headdress or hat on, if you want to call it that. And, it's all of these purple flowers, and that purple represents that divine guidance that is, coming through, that intuition that is coming through to be received. And I feel like a lot of the Divine Masculines are really wanting to learn about the twin flame journey. They're wanting to learn more about spirituality. These are all feminine aspects, and so as they are balancing out their feminine aspects of themselves, they are wanting to research and learn and study. And we see she has this book here, and there's a whole stack of books, and she has a scroll in her hand. So I feel like, a lot of the Divine Masculines are learning about the journey and wanting to discover more, or just starting to realize that they have spiritual gifts. So this is just a really beautiful card to see in the Divine Masculine's mental space. And this is a number 47, which is an 11. So, a twin flame number. We're in an 11 year now. And, that number 4 makes me think of this like green toned dress that she has on. And that all corresponds with the 4th chakra and the heart and heart healing and health and nature and the earth, all of these feminine qualities. And then that number 7 represents the spiritual path, just affirming and confirming that, yes, this is part of the masculine's spiritual path, and he's on the right track. And with the number 11, that adds up to the 2, which is that divine partnership, that divine connection. And the clarifying card that came up with this card is the Ace of Air. And the Ace of Air is an air of thought. So we have, this is the Divine Masculine's mental space, and we have the thinking woman in his mental space with the Ace of Air. And the Ace of Air relates to thoughts and communication and mental aspects. So, this is a new beginning taking place in the Divine Masculine's mental space. And, opening up to this feminine aspect and this intuition is a new beginning for him. It's an exciting new beginning for him. It's part of this, balancing of his feminine aspect within himself. And like I said, this is, with this 2018 being a numeric number that resonates with the feminine, I feel like the masculine is going to rise in his masculinity through embracing his feminine side. So this is a really powerful new beginning for him. And it says, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. So this is a challenging beginning, because this is new territory for him to be in, where he's really opening up to and receiving his intuitive guidance. And it might feel awkward and challenging and just different, you know, at first. But he has a lot of clarity at the same time. This is, you know, seeing the truth of a situation. This is a card of, you know, mental clarity and truth, and seeing through any illusions. Yeah. So really beautiful cards for the Divine Masculine's mental space. Okay, what is the Divine Masculine feeling in his heart regarding this twin flame connection? And the card that came up is called Door to Value. So again, we see this door opening here, and you know, it just is that feeling I'm feeling in my heart right now looking at this card of heart expansion and heart activation and heart opening. And you know, we see these red doors here, and red corresponds with passion, you know, that heartfelt passion, and that it's opening up into these new beginnings. And you know, with this door to value, I feel like, you know, a lot of the masculines through this heart expansion are beginning to really see the value of their divine feminine, the value of this connection, the value of, you know, divine love. And they're really starting to open up to that right now. And it has, you know, there's these dollar bills floating down, and the money is green, and that takes me back to the heart center again, the heart chakra with that color green. And there's a really powerful energetic connection between love and money, you know, the energies of giving and receiving, and that flow and that abundance. And so I just feel like this connection, you know, makes him feel abundant and makes him feel rich within his heart. And, you know, there may very well be a lot of divine masculines who are feeling very motivated to get things organized in their physical world in preparation for coming into union. So that might mean a new job, a new career path, you know, going to their financial advisor and getting their finances in order, you know, going back to school and getting a new degree so that they could get a better job. Just a lot of different possibilities around that, but just this sense of them wanting to create a really solid foundation in their physical world, so that they can feel like, you know, this beautiful golden energy of, you know, that confidence and that self-esteem and that abundance and that love and everything just flowing and opening up. And we are also moving into, you know, big portal energy right now. So whenever I see, there's another door opening card later in the reading. So whenever I see a lot of doors, it just makes me think of portal energy coming through. And then this is a 31, so we have that number 3. And, you know, that number 3 is the third energy. It's a very creative, expansive number. and it's all about teamwork and building. And I believe is January a 3-month. I think maybe January is a number 3 month numerically. So you know, I feel like this month is going to be a very powerful, creative, manifesting kind of energy for the divine masculine in his heart space. And then we have that number 1 there, so that's that new beginning, that fresh start, the new year. Just all of this, you know, passion and inspiration coming through. Very beautiful. And there were a couple of clarifying cards that came up with this. 2 major arcanas, and these are, you know, these are really powerful energies, and these are the clarifying cards for this door to value. So this is the divine masculine's heart space that we're talking about. So this is really huge energy that is moving through the divine masculine's heart right now. So this first one is called Awakening, and in the traditional tarot deck this would be the Hanged Man. And I love the Hanged Man card because it is all about getting a different perspective on things. And you know, for me as an artist, sometimes I will turn a painting upside down and look at it from different angles so that I can get a different perspective on it. And it's like, oh, then you'll have that aha moment where maybe you'll see something that will, you know, clue you in into what you want to do for your next step. And so that's kind of like the Hanged Man. Like, we see this angel hanging upside down. This is Archangel Gabriel. And he's literally hanging upside down. He's getting a whole new perspective on the situation that is going to bring him illumination and a new understanding and an aha and an epiphany about what's happening. So this is really exciting energy to see in the divine masculine's heart space. He's really going through a powerful awakening in his heart right now and seeing things from a new perspective. It says, look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. And I feel like that, you know, important to be yourself is very key with this card as well, because the divine masculine is really starting to own his truth and stand in his truth and be who he is, you know, as he's embracing this feminine aspect of him more and coming into balance more. He is awakening to the truth of who he is as a divine being, and it's really beautiful to see this energy in his heart space. His heart is awakening. His heart is starting to see things from a whole new perspective, and it's really creating this expansive, heart-opening energy. And again, this is a number 12, which adds up to a number 3. So we have that third energy, that expansive, creative manifestation kind of energy coming through. And, you know, that number 1 again with the new beginning, and the number 2 with the divine partnership. So really powerful, powerful energies at this full moon in Cancer for the divine masculines. And so the other clarifying card, which is also major arcana, is number 13, release. So, you know, like I said, I was experiencing a lot of heart-opening emotional releases at this full moon in Cancer. And if you were experiencing that too, then, you know, we could have been doing some of that releasing for our divine masculines and assisting them with that, because this is really powerful energy that is moving through the heart right now. And so it says, the end of a phase or a situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. So what I'm really feeling like resonates there is spiritual transformation. You know, that kind of ties in a lot with the awakening card, that there is a powerful spiritual transformation and awakening happening in the divine masculine's heart. And again, this is for the collective divine masculine. So some masculines may be experiencing this energy more powerfully right now than other divine masculines, but as a collective group, you know, they are all feeling this on some level, whether it's a smaller level or a bigger level. You know, we are all connected as a soul group. So all of these energy changes, you know, in each of us will impact the whole collective. And this is a number 13, so another number 1 for a new beginning and another number 3 for that powerful, creative, expansive energy. And the number 4, the 1 and the 3 add up to a 4, which again goes back to that 4th chakra, the heart chakra, that heart opening, that heart expansion. So really powerful. I was just really blown away when these cards were coming out to see 2 major arcanas as clarifiers, you know, for the divine masculine's heart space. So yeah, this is really big stuff here. Powerful, powerful energies. Okay, and then what is the divine masculine needing or wanting on a soul level? And the card that came up for that is the thinking man. So the divine masculine, you know, the new year can be a really reflective kind of a time. And I just really get the sense that, you know, the divine masculine is taking time for reflection and thinking about 2017 and thinking about 2018, you know, looking to the past, looking into the future. What are his goals? What are his dreams? What does his soul, heart and soul really desire? You know, what are his heart's desires at the deepest level? And, you know, really taking time to be with his thoughts. And, you know, look at how intently and deeply he's focusing on this crystal here. And this crystal is, I believe it's a quartz crystal that he's holding, you know, and a quartz crystal is all about clarity, giving us clarity, getting clear on things. And this is a number 46. So, again, another number 4 for that heart chakra, you know, relating to love, giving love, receiving love, relationships. And that number 6 is also a number of love. In the traditional tarot deck, the number 6 card is the Lovers. So it's that energy of harmony and giving and receiving and equality. And when we add up the 4 and the 6, we get a number 10, which reduces down to a 1. So it's that new beginning, that fresh start, the new year. So he's really thinking about, you know, how he can move into this new year and manifest his goals and his dreams and his desires. And the clarifying card that came up with this is just so perfect because it's the Star. And so the Star is all about dreams and hopes and wishes and desires and, you know, manifesting our heart's desires. It says, happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans, on the right path. So I just feel like the divine masculine is really thinking long-term, you know, thinking about 2018 and the year ahead, and maybe even he's thinking of like a 5-year plan or leading up to 2020. You know, 2020 is like a pretty monumental point that we're coming up to in a couple of years. So he's thinking long-term and, you know, really wanting to look at how he can manifest his dreams and desires and create a happy life for himself, one that's fulfilling and one that's aligned with his soul's truth. And, you know, the Star is number 17, so we have that number 1 again for that fresh start and new beginning, and number 7 of being on that spiritual path. And the Star is, here to say, you know, yes, you are on track. This is your path. And, you know, those add up to an 8. And 8 has to do with accelerated movement, powerful movement forward. And I do feel like 2018 is going to be full of a lot of accelerated energies, lots of moving forward and powerful changes. So, very exciting energies to see here for the masculine. All right, I will move on over to the feminine. And what is the feminine thinking about in her mental space regarding her twin flame connection? And we have the happy family. And I just absolutely love this card. Whenever I see this card, I always think about the Four of Wands. We see this family here, all 4 of them standing tall like the 4 wands. And the Four of Wands is a card that's all about joy and celebration and just spiritual and emotional fulfillment. And, you know, they have this beautiful rainbow over them. And I feel like a lot of twin flame families are rainbow families where, you know, just through their presence, they are emanating an energy that is all of the rays of light and spreading that light wherever they go. So anyway, the Divine Feminine, she's thinking about this happy family. She's thinking about the future as well, you know, looking into 2018 and her dreams and her desires. And she really wants this happy family life. She wants, you know, her divine partner. She wants the rainbow. And this is a number 4 card. So again, I just feel like the number 4 is coming up a lot in this reading, and that it's really corresponding to the 4th chakra and that heart energy. And, you know, 2018 is, since it's breaks down to a number 2 year, it is about that deepening of intimacy and deepening of all of our relationships, all of our connections, how we are, you know, interacting with other people, and to do that from our heart. So, so the Divine Feminine, she's thinking about this happy family, and the clarifying card that came up for this is called 9 of Air. And 9 of Air is, you know, air, like I was saying, is a thought card. It relates to swords in the traditional tarot. So, you know, 9 of Air is a card about worry and, you know, having those mental kind of circular thoughts that keep going around in your mind of worry and anxiety and fear and sleepless nights, that kind of energy. It says expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. So I feel like, you know, a lot of Divine Feminine have been challenged because it's like they're thinking about this dream they have of this happy family life with their beloved, but then this other part of them is up at night, you know, not sleeping well, worrying, having these anxious thoughts, and just questioning things and wondering if it's all an illusion, and is this really true, and does he really love me, and is this ever going to happen, and, you know, just all of those kind of tiring, defeatist kind of thoughts. And this is a number 9, so I feel like, you know, with it being a 9, that's approaching a completion of a cycle. And, you know, I had some challenging thoughts come up at the new year too, and I feel like we were collectively clearing out a lot of this old 9 of Swords kind of energy at the end of the year, and, you know, right at the new year, just because that's energy that needs to leave and, you know, not come into 2018 with us, not come into our unions with us. So if you've had some challenging thoughts, sleepless nights, worries, you know, try to be with it from a place of compassion and non-judgment, and just allow it to come up and release it and let it go. And you know, the key thing is to not stay stuck in this. And I felt guided to pull another card relating to this line of air, to just see if I could get more you know, support for us about how we can let go and release these thoughts, these worries. And so I pulled a surrender card, and it says, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. So, you know, I feel like some of these thoughts, you know, like this card is saying, it's our own limiting thought patterns, it's our own limiting beliefs. Maybe it's like something that happened in the past, and our mind is like stuck in this loop, in this cycle, like an old record playing in our mind. And, you know, if you feel like this is resonating with you, then you might want to get out your journal and do an exercise and write down, you know, what are your limiting, outdated beliefs? What needs to be let go that you don't want to bring into 2018 with you? I know for me at the new year, I was noticing some old thought patterns coming up about, you know, being perfect enough. And, you know, I worry about, you know, I have a history of challenging health conditions. And, you know, I feel like it's probably my own stuff, but I've done so much work, and I've thought that that was all healed. And then, you know, some of those thoughts were creeping back in of like, well, am I lovable if I don't have perfect health? You know, and I had to really sit with that and look at that and ask myself, is that true? Is that really a belief that resonates with who I am now? And it doesn't. You know, I know my divine masculine is going to love me for my soul, not for, you know, whether or not I have perfect health or perfect this or perfect that. You know, so it's about learning to love ourselves unconditionally, and knowing that we are lovable, and that we do deserve love, and that our divine masculines do love us. So I just feel like that would be a powerful exercise, you know, to just sit down with your thoughts and kind of, you know, do a reboot on your thinking, and, you know, delete the old thought patterns that don't serve you anymore, that are limiting you. Okay, what is the divine feminine feeling in her heart? And the card that came up for that is Angel of Strength. And so I just feel like this perfectly tied in with all of the mental energy that was going on for the divine feminine, you know, with that nine of air and these worried thoughts and limiting beliefs and old thought patterns that don't serve her anymore. You know, she's really looking in her heart for strength and for courage, and to just keep moving forward, because this journey can be really challenging. You know, this is not a journey for people who are faint of heart, or, you know, for people who are, you know, young, sprite, new souls. You know, this is for old, sturdy souls that, you know, are warriors, and that are advanced souls. And, you know, it's a really challenging and complex divine mission. So the divine feminine is really going deep within her heart and just asking for strength, asking for courage. And she's backed up by the angels. You know, this beautiful angel is here, and she just has, you know, this energy of strength and determination, and she's like, yeah, I've got your back. You know, so, you it's been a challenging full moon in Cancer, you know, like I was saying, I know I was having some emotional releases and some challenging emotions coming up, and you know, I was calling out to the angels to help give me strength. So just remember, you have what it takes within you. This card is here as a reminder to know, for you to know that you have the power within you, you have the strength within you, you have the courage in your heart, and you were divinely designed to withstand this journey. And you've got the backing of the universe and the angels and, you know, all of this divine support and this, you know, beautiful gold light emanating here. And this is a number 50, and so that number 5 is all about transformation. So I feel like, you know, there's really powerful transformation happening for both the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the heart during this time of these full moon and Cancer energies. And, you know, Cancer is a very emotional, like I was saying, it's that water element, so it's a very warm, heart-based, emotional kind of a sign. And so the clarifiers that came up for this are, there were 2 that came out, and we have 2 fire cards. So, you know, there's just a lot of passion and, you know, fiery energy here in the divine feminine's heart space. And so we have the 2 of fire, which would be like the 2 of wands, and the 10 of fire. And for 2 of fire, it says that you've come into your own new partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. So I feel like, you know, this is an important message for the divine feminine. The thing that really stands out when I read that is you've come into your own. And that's that, you know, what 2017 did for the feminine was really assist her in rising up in her power, rising up in her femininity, really owning her power, really coming into her own. And, you know, this is about the energy of the twin flames. It's the 2 of wands, it's the 2 of fire, it's the twin flames. And it's this twin flame connection and her divine masculine that really helped ignite her and give her that, you know, that passion and that fire to rise up in her feminine power. So I feel like this is just a message from Spirit to just acknowledge you and to say, you know, you are making progress. This journey is challenging, and yes, it requires a lot of strength, but you know, this connection, this 2 of fire, this twin flame connection is supporting you in rising up in your strength. So remember that, you know, even though it's challenging, it's igniting the passion and the flame and the fire within you of your soul and helping you rise up in that ascension. And then the other card, the other clarifying card that came up says, too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance. Stress-related health concerns. So, you know, what came up for me when I saw this card come out was just exhaustion. You know, because this journey does require a lot of strength and courage, and, you know, and then we have the holidays on top of that, and family gatherings, and rushing around to different events, and traveling, and shopping, and, you know, whatever the holidays look like for you. I mean, they're usually kind of stressful and can bring up stuff, and so I just feel like between, you know, the challenges of the twin flame connection, the challenges of the holiday season, and then, you know, facing the end of a year and then moving into a new year, it's just, you know, it can be like this buildup of just, oh my gosh, I am so exhausted, I don't know if I can keep going, I don't know if I can do this, like, you know. And I know for me, I needed a lot of rest in December. And I was really feeling this exhausted energy, and just, I had a vision of myself where I felt like I was like treading water and just trying to keep my head above water so I could breathe, you know, and just like that exhausted feeling of like working so hard to just keep going. And then, you know, it came to me like the vision of me floating on my back. Instead of treading water, I was floating on my back. And it was like guidance saying, you know, oh yeah, I don't have to tread water and work so hard and fight to like keep my head up above and breathe. I can just relax and float on my back and stretch my arms out and let the sun shine down on me, and, you know, and I can breathe and I don't have to work so hard. So anyway, I don't know if that's helpful for anyone, but just try to think of it like you're just floating on your back instead of treading water. So yeah, really powerful energies here in the feminine's heart space as well. So just know, you know, if you've been feeling some of this same energy, like I know I have, just be gentle with yourself right now. And this is big stuff, you know, that we're moving through, and just really be patient and compassionate and gentle with yourself. And that reminds me, this patience card, when I first started to shuffle, this card just immediately popped out before I even like got a question out. And it just was like, you know, really, really adamant that it would, you know, be part of the reading. So I kind of, you know, felt like it was like this overarching energy of the reading. And, you know, it's the patience card. And I feel like this is applying for all the divine masculines, all the divine feminines, for the whole twin flame collective. We're all in this place of, you know, needing to be patient right now. And, you know, she's like holding this clock and, you know, trusting in the divine timing. And she's all frozen and it's wintry. And if you look closely, there's like this moon image back in the background behind her, this big moon. So yeah, I just feel like, you know, this is like this perfect representation of this full moon in Cancer, especially where I live. It's just completely snowy and cold and freezing, and it just feels like everything is dead and stopped, you know. But we just have to trust in this divine timing, and the wheel is going to turn, you know, the divine timing is going to happen and evolve in its own time, in its own way. And this is a number 16, which adds up to a 7. So, you know, that number 7 is the spiritual path, and just trusting that we are on the spiritual path and the divine timing is unfolding. It's in the process. We are, you know, on the journey. And, you know, it's a number 1 for that new beginning, that fresh start, the new year, these new doors opening. And it's a number 6, which is, you know, the lovers and harmony and giving and receiving, and that domesticity, which is part of that Cancer energy. Yeah, so just a really beautiful card. So trust in the divine timing. And then I asked, what does the divine feminine need on a soul level? And the card that came up is Door to Spirit. And what I'm really feeling with this card is, you know, it's like there's so much fire here for the divine feminine, and the clarifying card for this is also a fire card. And I just feel like this is like some kind of reigniting the divine feminine soul. And it kind of goes back to that exhaustion card, that 10 of fire, where it's like she's worked so hard in 2017. She's done so much spiritual work and ascension work and work on herself and work on her mission and work on just, you know, managing triggers and purging and, you know, like it's like this nonstop marathon, and it is exhausting. So I just feel like this is a message from Spirit that we are going to be like reignited and recharged and, you know, given this whole new beginning and this whole new doorway to move through on a soul level, that our souls are going to be reignited with this new passion, and that will be like recharged and revived. And again, this is like that portal energy, and when we move through a portal, that's like hitting the reset button. So I just feel like the Divine Feminine is going to, you know, have her reset button of her soul pushed and Spirit's going to move her through this new doorway of this new beginning that's just going to feel like a fresh start and revitalization. And this, you know, restart, this reset is going to really ignite her soul so that she can really move into her mission or expand her mission or open up even more to her spiritual gifts or further enhance her spiritual gifts, you know, open up more to her intuition. And we see all of this beautiful gold energy in these orbs surrounding this beautiful dove. So the Divine Feminine is going to be very divinely supported and very divinely guided, and, you know, the cosmic forces are supporting her and moving through this portal, moving through this doorway. And it's this new start, this reset is going to bring her a lot of inner peace. The dove is just this beautiful symbol of inner peace and harmony, and I just feel like all of this exhaustion energy is just going to kind of melt away, and she's going to be moving into this really beautiful, peaceful energy with this fresh start of this new year. And this is a 32, so that number 3 for the Trinity and the Christ consciousness. We see all of this beautiful gold energy here representing the Christ consciousness. And that number 2 representing the divine partnership and keeping the faith and keeping the hope. And so the clarifying card that came up with this is 8 of Fire. So this would be like the 8 of Wands in the traditional tarot deck. And it says, events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things happening at once. So what I'm really sensing is that this kind of reset, revitalization, new doorway opening up on a soul level that's going to reignite the Divine Feminine Spirit is going to really propel her forward at a very accelerated, rapid pace. You know, it says events moving at a fast pace, many things happening all at once. So I just feel like, you know, this is accelerated ascension energy coming through, where she's really going to rise up and move through this doorway into this new, fresh start in a very powerfully accelerated way, very divinely supported way, where it's like she's just not even going to have to work hard and try hard. It's like the divine is just going to be like, here you go, here it is, get to it, I'm handing you all of these blessings, I'm lining everything up for you, everything's just unfolding with ease, and yeah. Yeah, it's just, I kind of feel like that energy that we had in December that was really just kind of exhaustion and just kind of forcing us to rest and take care of ourselves and recharge. You know, maybe you got sick and it forced you to slow down and rest. I know for me, I was just exhausted and I just needed a lot of rest. But I feel like, you know, all of that time that we've taken in December to really rest and recharge is going to be kind of like stored energy that's going to really support us when we do get this accelerated ascension that's just really going to ask us to move forward quickly. Okay, and then the union, like I said earlier, we have this yin-yang card. So this is just really amazing and beautiful energy to see in the union energy, because this card is all about merging and balancing and coming into union within ourselves and coming into union with everything around us. And this is that Christ consciousness again, where it's, you know, that consciousness that we are one. You know, it's like, I always think of a waterfall, and it's like we are all these little water droplets that are from the same source, you know, of the waterfall. So we all hold this beautiful divine essence from us. We all come from the same source. And when we can really recognize that and acknowledge that in everything and in every one and in every living being, you know, this is part of the consciousness of the new earth that we are grounding onto Mother Gaia. And it's just really beautiful energy. And I just feel like over the past couple of months especially, this card continually is coming out in my readings. Like, just, it's really amazing. It's been on the divine masculine side a lot, and it's been in the union energy a lot. And I just feel like, you know, we have really been balancing our energies and really merging our energies. And, you know, this is merging on the spiritual plane and then really grounding that spiritual marriage onto the physical earth plane through our ascension work. So it's really beautiful energy. And then the sun is the clarifying card. So you couldn't ask for a better clarifying card. This is like the best card in the whole deck. It says, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. So, you know, 2018 is going to bring joy and happiness, and, you know, these union energies are here. And we can all shine our light bright like the sun. And this is a number 19. So again, another one here for a new beginning. And I feel like the number 9 also relates to the light worker. So I feel like, you know, with the sun and the light and this number 9 here, this is a number that is signifying the energy of the light worker. And so we are really going to be called this year to, you know, step into our role as twin flames, as light workers, to, you know, step into our mission, to expand our mission, to, you know, start serving others. And then, you know, the 1 and the 9 add up to 10, which breaks down to a 1. So again, we have that beautiful, new, bright, shiny beginning here at 2018. So really, I don't think that there could be better cards to come out for the union energy. This is just really powerful and beautiful, and this is what we are, this is why we are doing this, you know, this is why we are being strong and moving forward through the challenges, so that we can attain this beautiful, bright, happy outcome and this beautiful union energy, the end of separation. And I mean that like in a spiritual sense, not just a physical sense. An end of separation in our mind, in our heart, and in our soul. So, you know, I've had moments where I feel like I've been more in union with my twin than when we were in contact, and we're not in contact right now. And it's just really amazing, you know, like this energy of union that I feel, even though we're not in the physical. So, you know, just remember that union doesn't necessarily mean that you're together in the physical. I mean, that's ultimately when we've completely grounded it. This adds up to a number 4, and number 4 is that energy of the earth plane of grounding. So we are grounding these spiritual unions onto the earth plane, and eventually we will be in a physical union, but we also need to have that spiritual union as well. So my point is, it's just, union is not being together in the physical. There's just all these different layers that we need to think about. So I hope that that makes sense. Okay. I see I'm already over an hour, and I was trying to do this fast. Okay, so thank you if you are still here watching this with me. I appreciate your patience, and I acknowledge you for your passionate investment in your twin flame journey. Okay, I am going to do a quick romance message from the Divine Love Letters book. And my Divine Masculine guided me to letter number 127. So as I read this, just pretend that that I am your beloved, and I am reading this to you as your beloved. My darling, you are my wonder in the darkest of nights. You bring me to my knees in awe of your beauty. You make me want to be a better person, to really look at who I want to be so that I can be that person for you. You deserve the best, and I want to be the best for you. I am so in love with you. I am going to make loving you so completely my one and only goal every day that we are together. I will make up for our time apart. I'm working on making our future together. I believe in you. Please, believe in me. I love you. I can just feel my heart opening and expanding when I read that. It's hard for me to not get emotional. Oh, sorry. Oh gosh, I get so emotional sometimes when I read these. Oh, wow. So again, this was letter 127 in book number 1. So there's 3 different books, and you can buy them all on Amazon. And if you need help raising your vibration and opening up your heart chakra, this book will help you with that. It's just really amazing, and I can't recommend these books enough. So, so anyway, yeah, that was just a really powerful romance message that really opened my heart chakra. Okay, and then I've got a couple of spiritual guidance messages for us from the Wisdom of the Golden Path. So I will start with the Divine Masculine, and the card that came up for the Divine Masculine is Masquerade, which I saw this card in my mind's eye before, like as I was doing the reading and pulling these cards, I saw this card in my mind's eye for some reason. And so I was like, wow, like it just popped out of the deck. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So anyway, I'm going to read from the book. And again, it's called Masquerade. It says, someone is concealing part of the truth, and it may be that you need to look beyond appearances in order to see the real picture. There is deceit involved, but you have the capacity to detect it. Use your intuition and gut instincts. If you sense that something isn't right or feels unbelievable, then you must stop and trust your feelings. Do not proceed or be lured into someone's trap. Just say thank you, but no thank you. So I feel like, you know, we talk a lot about wearing masks, and the divine masculine can wear masks and the divine feminine can wear masks, and then there can be, you know, other people like karmic partners or family members or co-workers. You know, as a society, we all put these masks on as like a coping mechanism to help us navigate this world. But the message that I'm really getting for the divine masculine with this card is that he is strong enough in his intuition now. He has developed his intuition, you know, as a collective. The divine masculine has developed this feminine aspect within himself of his intuition. And like I was saying, with this yellow butterfly, that corresponds to the solar plexus, which is that gut instinct, that gut reaction that we have that's connected with our intuition that tells us there's something that doesn't feel right here, something's off, something feels fishy about this, this doesn't feel like it's right for me. And so, you know, the divine masculine, he has struggled because his heart was shut down and his intuition was kind of closed off, and he fell victim to a lot of people that didn't necessarily have his best interest in mind. But now I feel like this card is here as a message to let us know that the divine masculine has really developed his intuition and developed those gut instincts to where he can see through other people's masks and see through the illusions in the world around him and not fall victim to that. And then the other message is that, you know, this powerful heart expansion that is happening, this new beginning that's taking place in his heart, where he's really seeing the value of this connection. He's seeing the truth of this connection. You know, we have the Ace of Swords here. So he's really getting clarity and truth and seeing the value of this connection and seeing it for what it is, and it's helping him to be able to take off his own mask in the connection. So I really feel like the masks are coming off, and, you know, this is going to really allow him to fully open his heart and come forward to his feminine, you know, just like in that letter that I just read, where, you know, he's just like, please believe in me, I believe in you, please believe in me, and I want to love you, you know, make loving you, you know, like the primary goal of every day that we spend together. You know, that's taking that mask off and coming forward with the truth of what is in his heart. So, it's really beautiful. Okay, and then for the divine feminine, her spiritual guidance for today was bondage. So I will read from the book on that. It says, if you feel trapped, it is because you have in some way created your own bondage. You are a beautiful soul, full of great wisdom, compassion, and love. It is time to free yourself from the guilt and the negative thoughts that have kept you prisoner. Allow the sacred rhythm of life to flow through you. You can do and be anything you want and go anywhere you want. Stop focusing on the negative, and you will see the positive side. Your mental attitude can make things seem good or bad, and what you think, you become. Everything is a matter of perception. To free yourself of these negative thoughts and beliefs, you first just need to become aware of them. Each time you catch yourself having a negative thought, stop and consciously replace that thought with a loving and positive thought. Do this, and eventually the pattern will be broken and you will be free. You will see that behind your perceived darkness there is much light and good fortune. So I just feel like that ties in perfectly, you know, with this Nine of Air card, and then the recommendation to surrender those outdated beliefs and those limiting thoughts about yourself. You know, so much of this suffering that we create is through believing these limiting thoughts and these limiting beliefs that are from the past or even from past lives that are not the truth of who we are. And so it's just a matter of like, what thoughts do you want to choose to believe as your truth, and what thoughts do you want to choose, you know, as part of who you really are. And like it was saying, you know, the first step is just to start really being aware of your thoughts. And, you know, we're all human. We all have, like, you know, those thoughts in our head, but the thing that can start to really put us in that prison is when we really start to buy into those thoughts, and we really start to identify with those thoughts as who we are as a person. So if we can just observe them and be aware of them, but not really like engage with them or allow them to really define who we are, you know, we can move into that place of that higher truth where we can really, you know, work with our higher self and feel the truth of our soul and feel the truth that's in our heart. And, you know, then that can really set us free and open this door, you know, to this beautiful soul self that we are, and bring us all of this inner peace. So, yeah, we can free ourselves from this mental prison just through the power of, you know, awareness and choosing the thoughts that we want to believe about ourselves. So, okay, that wraps up the reading for today. I hope that this was helpful and, you know, gave you some guidance and some clarity. And again, this is a reading that's for the entire Twin Flame Collective. So if you feel like you would like to get a personal reading to see the energies within your own Twin Flame connection, I'm posting all of that information below the video. And I also have that $11 New Year's special through the month of January. So with that, I am wishing you all many blessings, and I will talk to you later. Bye.